Seeking people's approval is a little bit like getting an orgasm. Sure, the road to get there might take a little bit of trying. Gorgeously explosive as the result might be, much like an orgasm, approval doesn't last very long either. And yet we spend so much of our time in life trying to please everyone around us. We're constantly trying to get applause, we're trying to gain accolades. The nod of someone else's head might just make our day. And by an extension of that very same logic, the lack of getting that validation might then somehow affect our self-esteem. When we don't get the approval, so to speak, we're always left wondering, am I good enough? Suddenly now the nature of our entire being is questioned because that outside source is unable to confirm our existing potential. What if we made ourselves bulletproof? What if our sense of self-worth wasn't intertwined with people's perception of us? There's a very, very thin line between seeking approval and celebrating applause when we get it. If I could be my own barometer to judge my own success, my happiness, my joy, my confidence would come from the inside out and not from the outside in. And if we can somehow internalize that, we wouldn't seek approval all the time. Think about it. Who are the people you're trying to impress? There are just two kinds of people in the world. The people who already love you, the people who already care for you. These are the people who will stand by you no matter what. These are the people you don't have to try to impress. Then there's the other lot who will always try to make you feel like you are not good enough. These are the people who are trying to exercise dominion over you by constantly making you crave their approval and perhaps never giving it to you, because that's their way of feeding their own ego. People tend to feed off this need to please. If you don't have that need, they have nothing to bite into. Essentially, you end up becoming an approval whore, giving somebody the power that they do not deserve. You might think for a second, what is so wrong with being a people pleaser? People like you, they laugh with you, you have a lovely time. If they love you for who you are already, fantastic. If not, you make slight compromises to be able to fit in. With a healthy spectrum, that's called adaptability. No problem there. The trouble begins when you leave someone else in charge of judging your sense of self-worth. And when you do that, you're crumbling the very foundation of your self-esteem. The idea is to make your sense of self-worth so strong that it is unshakable by a change in circumstance and by how people feel about you. People should be able to add to who you are. They should never be able to take away from it. And they really can't unless you give them that power. If you're not seeking their approval, they have nothing to give you. Just remember that the high of approval only lasts that long. Knowing that you live your entire life on your terms alone is pure gold. And understanding that your self-worth is determined only by you is complete raw power to have. And that power is called a life force. And you are it. Quite honestly, the only stamp of approval you truly, really need is your own. Believe it or not, that's a pretty high standard to live up to.